Would you say a person's parents or upbringing has influence on his or her sex beliefs?
Absolutely. Like, it stands to reason. Like, if you grow up in a house where your parents are quite liberal about sex and they encourage an open attitude, they walk around naked and leave bowls of condoms on the table, you're likely to grow up with a completely different attitude than if your parents, you're not even allowed to mention the word and they freak out when you bare your knees in a pair of shorts. So, of course, we grow up with that sort of thing, and it affects our choice of partners and our sex life. There's also evidence that actual sex drive can be genetic. So if your parents have a high sex drive, stands to reason you probably will as well. If they've got a low sex drive, you might have inherited that, also. It's incredibly hard. I've counselled lots of people who are battling with what their parents have left them with, years later, because intellectually they might know that what their parents told them wasn't actually true, but emotionally they still find it really hard to get rid of. So that can be a problem.
In your experience, what are the most common sex myths for both women and men?
I think it's quite interesting, the one that says that you're not supposed to sleep with people that you work with, considering that 2/3 of us meet our lifelong partners through work or through friends. I also don't agree with the sort of common myth that you're meant to be completely honest with your partner about your sexual past. I don't think that actually gets anyone anywhere. I think trying to reduce your sexual history to a number of how many people you've slept with is totally misleading, because you're taking out the emotion and you're taking out the circumstance. And in fact, they haven't learned anything more about you because of that. So I'm also not entirely convinced that, sometimes you get relationships where people say, I want to know every single thing. If ever you fancy somebody else, I need to know about it. Particularly jealous people are like that. I don't particularly want to know if my partner spent all day fantasising about, the girl who's been, photocopying something with a low-cut top on. I just can't see any point in that whatsoever. So I don't agree with total honesty. I think being kind is sometimes a better idea.